Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some very intriguing PlayStation 5 Pro news. Now, as you guys may have seen, we've been seeing a lot of gaming drama everywhere. We've seen PlayStation having looming layoffs. We've had Xbox doing looming layoffs and actual layoffs. We just had a lot of really just big general drama going on when it comes to the gaming sphere. And as well, we saw a lot of big AAA games kind of failing, and more past this past week, Sony and PlayStation have basically been a little bit distraught, where they basically projecting their sales of the PlayStation 5 console to go down a decent bit. The normal flagship console, like the normal PlayStation 5, or the slim version, if you guys want to call it that, to also be going down, and overall, just everything's been a little bit on the teeter-tottery side. We're even seeing protests over there for Ubisoft, and right now, a lot of folks are kind of curious on what's next, what can PlayStation do to salvage stuff, and apparently right now, the one big thing is the PlayStation 5 Pro, where a lot of analysts, a lot of people are talking about it, and as well, kind of just projecting in terms of the shareholder meetings and all of that the PS5 Pro is going to be coming sooner rather than later. So we're going to go talk about this all throughout the video itself. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We'll probably be live up on Twitch if you guys are bored, so swing by and say hello, and definitely go follow if you guys want to. Follow the Twitter too as well, and sign up for that Weeble. You'll get a bunch of free stock and money if you guys want. Let's go and dive on into the video itself. So we have a very peculiar article over here from CNBC, or Sony themselves to release a pro version of the PlayStation 5 this year after cutting the outlook, analysts are now saying. So this is a bit more of like a general, broader thing, because it is from CNBC, but a lot of folks are assuming that the PS5 Pro should be announced, or is being made, or will be coming very soon. The initial rumors were the Slim, which already has come out, like that's just the brand new model, for 2023, which happened, and then the part 2 rumors were 2024 holiday season PS5 Pro. Now, this is a little bit intriguing because there's almost a bit of mind work with it, because as of the most current recent Sony projections, they did go and say that their consoles were going to go down this fiscal year. Now, this fiscal year also would include up to 2025 in March, April, so if there is a holiday season console, PS5 Pro, that actually would be expected to be included with that. Now, this could maybe just be one of those things where they're like, hey, we're just going to go take the stock, hold their fall, and then in the future, we can go and adjust projections. Basically, kind of be like, hey, we're going to lose stock regardless, like sales going to slow down, software's going to go down, we don't have as many games for 2024, let's go take the L right now, but we can obviously go and bounce back, have like some hidden surprises, have some bigger AAA games, have some cool announcements, and then in theory, the stock should go back up, especially if they're like, hey, we're going to make a PS5 Pro, and then boom, everything will probably be like, oh, hey, cool, brand new console, that's usually Sony and PlayStation's bread and butter, let's go and reinvest, buy the stock, it's hypey, it makes sense. But right now, we're actually seeing a lot more of the bigger analysts discussing that there is probably a Pro version sooner rather than later. The key points are that Sony is likely to release a refreshed version of the PS5 this year, analysts are now telling CNBC, after the company cut its forecast of sales for the flagship console. Once again, flagship. Now, this is us trying to look more on the optimistic side. Flagship makes a lot of sense, because if you have the Pro is going to be a brand new console. So what would be a good reason for the main console sales to slow down, besides people just getting their consoles and being done with it or whatever, which is fine, that happens for every console, even the Switch. It's okay, it happens. But also, they keep on mentioning the flagship console. Same thing with that Microsoft. They're talking about their Xbox Series X, but they want to maybe have a portable handheld device. So what would be a different than a flagship console? Obviously a Pro version. Duh. Like they already have a mobile handheld for the PlayStation Portal. Makes sense. They also said the move would be designed to boost interest in the PS5 and offer a souped-up piece of hardware ready for the release of GTA 6, and I've said this a lot in my videos, or just the launch title would make sense. There is not apparently planned to be an Xbox Series X Pro, but there's supposed to be a PS5 Pro. So if you're a console goer and you want to go and enjoy GTA 6, which is probably like one of the better games of probably the decade in all honesty, well, just based on like the GTA 5 and how it is, that game is probably going to be insane. So if you're a console goer, you're going to probably buy the Pro to have a better 4K, maybe at least 60 FPS experience to enjoy the game and get lost in the game when it comes out. Makes a lot of sense. So even as expectations of a new console rise, Sony is grappling with the big issue that profit margins at its key gaming business are sitting at near decade lows, which we've been talking about all throughout this week. So basically, like the really high level is they want to probably have the PlayStation 5 Pro coming out this year. Still planned up for. It hasn't been confirmed, but through leaks, legal documentations, and everything else, it seems like that is still pushing for that. So Sony is likely to release a refreshed version of the PS5 this year, analysts told CNBC, after the company cut its forecast of sales of its flagship console, which has still been affecting the market quite a bit. The move would be designed to boost interest in the PS5 and offer a souped-up piece of hardware ready for release on the GTA 6 in 2025, one of the decade's most hotly anticipated games, and I would probably agree on this, because it just makes sense. Like, if you're going to buy it on PC, you probably would have a better PC than your console. If you're going to buy it on console, you probably would maybe be okay to upgrade to a better console to go play the game. Now, GTA is not like the biggest game of all time, but it probably will be one of the biggest games of all time. Call of Duty is typically more the bigger consistent seller, but they also make one every year. It makes a lot more sense. GTA has done insane sales, but overall, from the past, let's say, like 10 years from Call of Duty, it's just insane on how much more games like that have done. But if you also want to sell hardware and sell consoles and try to have like a good marketing ploy, if you don't have another bigger AAA game, let's say like a Spider-Man 2 to sell with the Pro, they kind of did the Spider-Man 2 with the Slim, so they kind of are still working around. God of War probably won't be coming around in the next 1 or 2 years as well, especially with the DLC just coming out, like probably not. So at the same time, what will be the game that sells? And that would probably be GTA 6. Sony was not immediately available for comment after contacted by CNBC, and then first released in November 2020. Sony's PlayStation 5 is more than 3 years old out, at the point to be around 4 years. We've always kind of related that back to the PS5 or PS4 Pro, around the 4 to 5 year gaming mark. That'd probably be very similar to what it'd be for the Pro. Maybe either if it's released this holiday season, 4 years would make a lot of sense, and then as well, if it's maybe like a 5 year or like a 4.5 year, once again, would make a lot of sense. Kind of lets it keep on bumping for another 2 or 3 years before the PS6 comes out. Like, we've kind of gone through a lot of this on a lot of other various videos. I just kind of want to talk about a little bit more because it's on CNBC. Adds a little bit more just like interest on the general normie, I guess, consumer. That's when it comes to that. But as we keep on talking about throughout the week, they did go and lower down the financial forecast for 4 million units, and the executives even said during their earnings calls that Sony was expecting a gradual decline, but at the same time, it was once again going for the flagship hardware. So what is better than the flagship hardware? Pro consoles. So when this has happened in the past console cycles, gaming firms have looked to bring out a refreshed piece of hardware for reinvigorated sales. For example, Sony launched the Pro version of the PS4, the previous generation console, around 3 years after the PS4 was initially launched, and we're pretty much around that same range, if not going to be probably a little bit past it, because we haven't seen any announcements or teasers, and if they're expecting at the end of 2024, that's closer to around 4 years. Hardware is a little bit better. We're not really seeing big major improvements. No major game has kind of like made us want to get a Pro console. Like, look at, let's say, like, God of War or Horizon. They worked fine on the PS5. Some of those are even run on the PS4. I think we don't need a PS5 Pro for that. Although GTA 6, though, will probably be the first game to really be pushing this graphics generation, both on PC and as well also for consoles especially. So once again, it makes a lot of sense. They're saying there seems to be a broad consensus in the game industry that Sony is indeed preparing a launch of a PS5 Pro in the second half of 2024. Serkan Toto, CEO of Tokyo Games-based consultancy Katan, said, and it makes a lot of sense. We keep on talking about the PS5 Pro, this is just more of like the general talk, instead of like specific leaks or rumors, because we talked about this on the channel a little bit already. But it's one of those things where it's like, what do you expect? If Xbox isn't going to do it, this is the perfect opportunity for PlayStation to step on in and see what they could go make happen. It just makes sense because you want to sit there and you want to go and get a better graphics experience. And if Xbox isn't doing it, step on in. Get the consumers. Get like those like big techie people who enjoy consoles and maybe not PC for whatever reason, but they enjoy consoles and they want to go and get it done. They want to have something nice to play. They want to go play with their buds. They're PS5 users as well, and they wouldn't mind being that guy to, like, this is not a bad thing, but the guy to go and glow and be like, hey, yo, bro, I got my Pro, and then I'm playing my GTA 6, my multiplayer servers look beautiful, I give them that 4K, the single player experience is great, and people kind of almost want to boast about that and enjoy it, because, like, why not spend the extra money? It's kind of like for VR. It's like, you don't need it, but it's fun, so you want to spend the extra money and get a better PC, get a better console, whatever it might be. And they're also saying that Sony wants to make sure they have a great piece of hardware ready when the GTA 6 it's in 2025. And then once again will probably be a big boost for the entire game industry as a whole because it's GTA. So far, Sony launched a slightly upgraded PS5 last year, as well as the handheld console called the Portal. But the PS5 would be obviously a way better GPU, CPU, better specs. And we've covered up some of the leaks in these prior videos, but it just keeps that making sense. So even like the big general wide populace assumes there will be a PS5 Pro. Now, once again, Xbox has declined to go and mention they want to make a new one. They have declined on making stuff, which makes a lot of sense. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same exact time, like, why not fill in the blank? Like, that's what they're going to do. Like, they might want to go wait for they might have a weird staggered schedule where the PS5 Pro, and then we have that stall out for a little bit. Then we have the Xbox 2, and then we have, like, the PS6 afterwards. We actually might not even have these launches in tandem anymore due to the Pro itself. But a lot of folks are saying that, yeah, all these big analysts over here are saying that the PS5 Pro comes out. Sony may not even cut in the price of the current consoles. They may not be adjusting stuff. It may be like a $700 console. There's so much stuff to critique and talk about, but it's just intriguing to go and see that people are basically expecting this right now due to the stock going down and the shareholders being scared, and of course trying to go get that market share from GTA 6, which makes a lot of sense. So just wanted to talk about this because it was a fun little video, so make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below. We're probably live up on Twitch right this second. You just want to say hi. We also have the Webull link. You guys sign up, get deposit any bit of money, get a bunch of free stocks, you withdraw it, sell, do whatever, and give me your thoughts and comments all down below.